actually the same? You can tell me something. Both the country pleasure horse and the English trail pleasure horse, what do they have in common when you ride them? What's one of the things you can do? Look at you, don't cheese them. You can ride with two hands, okay? So English horses, you pretty much always ride with two hands, and country pleasure horses, you have the option. You can ride with two hands if you want to, like you ride Takate with two hands, right? And like Cam is riding Miss Dixie with two hands. So on a horse in trail pleasure that's Western, and he's 5 years old and older, you have to ride with one hand, and that's neck reining, correct? Everybody knows that? Good deal. All right, so I'm gonna let Liz go around, and then I'm gonna let Cam follow, and then I'm gonna follow, and I want you to watch the differences in how these three horses actually move, okay? I want you to watch their animation, I want you to watch their back end, and I want you to watch where their head placement is, okay? And then we're gonna talk about that, all right? Okay, go ahead, Liz. Cam, you follow Liz in a big circle here, all right? All the way up, like Miss Linda Scribner, we deduct points, okay? Cam, shorten up your reins. Go ahead and step up, Liz. Good, Cam. Look up where you're going. Cam, come around here. Stay at this end, please. Thank you. Your horse. How do you reverse? Okay. Very good. All right. Go ahead and go flat walk. Spread your hands, Cam. Take them off the saddle. Keep going. Push with your legs. All right, let's all go running walk. Use your legs. Okay, Cam, do left and right. Okay, who can tell me what one big difference is when you see all three of these horses going? Okay, I'm going to do Grace first, and then your name is? Morgan. Morgan. Okay, Grace, you first. They're lower, aren't they? And why is that? Well, what our rule book says is that a Western horse is supposed to have more of a natural lower headset and go on a loose rein. So you notice there's some looseness in Cam's rein, and there's a lot of looseness when I ride Doctor here. And then Liz has contact, and that helps to elevate the front end when the English horses are going. So a lot of times you can take these horses. Okay, Cam, go ahead and stop for a minute. You can take these horses that we show predominantly Western, and that is true for how they're shod, okay? Now, Fuego has the Trail Pleasure shoe on, and Miss Dixie has the Country Pleasure shoe. So that's a good catch, okay? All right, who has other questions for me? Nothing. Everybody knows everything they need to know. No? No? All right. Well, let's do this. What do the difference in a 4 and under and a 5 and over horse when you show them Western? Okay?
In a 5 and over horse, you have to ride one.
You're correct. In Western, you ride a horse, you have the option of riding it two-handed with a ring snaffle. Okay? Everybody understand that?
I'm glad you finally made it.
Everybody have colts that they ride? No? You're the one that had the colt that was on the picture, wasn't it? Yeah. You have one too? What do you have?
We have a 2-year-old Tennessee one.
You do? Is it started under saddle yet? Yes, it is. And are you going to be showing that horse this year?
No.
No.
I can ride him.
Yeah.
Just get
I got you. Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's do this. Go ahead and go around, Pam. Liz, go ahead and go. Same way. It's hard for me to talk to you and not be in the center with you. Good. All right, if you notice, both Pam and both Liz have what I call leg contact with the horse, okay? You don't see them kicking and spurring and everything else. They have contact. And in the pleasure classes, that's something you want to see. You want to see these horses that want to go because they like their job. You don't want to see tails that are spotty and ringing, and you want to see both of them. They get their ears up. They're very, well, neither one of them have their ears up right now, but you want to see happy horses. So when you're working your horses at home, try and do things with them that make them happy. Cam, sit back. I'm helping Cam right now learn to stay on what I call his pockets. So I want him to ride on his pants pockets. You see a lot of people that start to lean over and hunch and everything. And what that does with your legs is it shoots your legs to the back like this. And then pretty soon you got your spurs in their flanks if you ride with spurs, and that can be a bad deal. So a rule of thumb is if you're sitting on your pockets, your leg is going to be in the correct position, okay? I'll tell you the way I train my horses is with pressure and release, okay? So if I want him to go, you'll see I squeeze just a little bit with my legs. If I want him to stop, I'm going to take my legs off. And so these horses that you see today, that's where their leg contact comes in. Now, a lot of people teach their horses to back up differently. I prefer to take my legs forward. And the reason why I put my legs forward is because it's a difference in telling him to go and to stop, okay? So that's something that everybody can work on, because a good stop on a horse is a very, very good thing to have always, especially on the young horses, all right? All right, let's go ahead and stop, and we're gonna reverse, okay? For those of you who show, what is the difference in how you reverse on an English horse versus a Western horse? I'm going to go ahead and I'm sorry I missed your name.
Kyle.
Kyle, that's right. Okay, Kyle.
They turn towards the inside, it's Western. Yeah, inside, outside.
Yes, correct. Now, is a Western horse required to pivot when it reverses?
Yes.
No. No. And in the older finished horses, when you're judging, I think it's a much more finished look if the horse will pivot on its hindquarters. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Yes? Yes? Okay. So when you're showing a finished horse that is in a bridle and is going one-handed, we like to see them reverse. We like to see them pivot across because it shows that they can neck rest. So, but on a younger horse or a country pleasure horse that you ride two-handed, it's perfectly acceptable to stop and to make your turn probably not excessive in a circle. You don't want to look like you're out of control, but you don't necessarily have to do a pivot. Okay? All right? Anybody thought of any other questions? No? Oh my goodness. All righty. Okay. Well, let's turn appropriately, Cam, for your division. Go ahead. Stay over on the edge. Level. All right, one of the things that you see on both these horses is what we call a good overstride. And it is where the front foot is planted and the back foot goes past where the front foot started. All right? So Fuego right now, push her just a little bit, Liz. If you watch Fuego, she's got about 1.5 feet of overstride. And Dixie's right about at 1.5 feet. Maybe 1.5 feet. Both of them are good. Cam, I want you to stay over by the edge and not cut the corners. Okay? That's a good lesson for everybody to listen to too. When you're in the ring, one of the things that you don't want to see is horses that cut corners. You don't have to necessarily be on the rail, okay? You don't have to ride right on the rail, but if nobody else is around you, it gives the judge the opportunity to see your profile up against the rail that much better, all right? Cam, look up. All right, you'll hear me the whole time I'm watching Cam and everything. I'm saying look up. This is one of the most important things that you can learn when you are first showing. Because if you learn to look up and look where you're going, then number one, you don't get into a position with other people where you run into them or you don't have anywhere to go. If you're coming up on a group of, say, 3 horses, if you're looking where you can go, you can come around them and make it look that much prettier and not get caught up in a mess where your horse doesn't get judged. What happens a lot, and I see this with youth riders, is they get covered up. And if you're covered up in the ring, nobody can see you. So always, always, always try and look around yourself to make sure that the judges have the opportunity to see you. Okay? All right? You've got to help me with questions here, guys. This is for you to learn. Okay, Cam, hold your hands up a little bit. I want you to spread them out. Spread them out. Okay? Do a left, right. Now, you'll hear me say do a left, right. And all I'm doing is repositioning my horse's head, especially in a snaffle bit or in 2 rein. Good. Now what happened right there, which is good for you to see, is that when Cam did the left-right, he took his legs off and the mare stopped. She did exactly what you told her to do. All I'm doing is I'm helping you reposition your horse. So if I'm coming along here and I want to be closer to the wall, if you lift up and over, see where that horse goes? Or if you lift up and over this way, you can steer back this way. This is something I work a lot with on my horses so that they have power steering basically. So if you're coming across to the right, you're going to lift up and over, up and over. You want to come back to the left, you're lifting up and over. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to have you guys park in next to me. Park in next to me. Get straight. Don't look down. Look where you need to be. Don't look at me. Okay, are you straight? Or get straight. Okay, stop. Now back up. What did we practice yesterday? Get the head set, feet forward, fast back up. Ask. Come on. Ask. Okay. One of the things that I see in the lineup a lot, and my riders are guilty of it just as much as anybody's, is they watch. They watch what everybody else is doing, coming down the line, and they're not ready. And they get there, and the judge goes, back your horse, and they go, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready. So my rule of thumb is I like for you to prepare to back your horse because it's not fair to your horse if you don't prepare to back your horse up. So when the judge is getting to Liz and she starts to back up, it's your responsibility to get your horse ready to back up, okay? So, therefore, what you're going to do is just do a little tweak. That's what I do, okay? Get their attention, and then you're going to shift your body weight backwards, your feet forward, and you're going to ask to back up, all right? And then the rule of thumb is to back up 3 steps. I like to do more. I like you to back clear of where the other horse's hindquarters will be standing. It just makes it look that much more finished, okay? All right, Liz, prepare to back. Okay, Cam, are you ready when the judge says to you? Are you going to forward? All right, keep going. I'll wait. You got to back out of the lineup. Keep going. Come on. There you go. Good job. Now, ride back up. Now, what happens if somebody next to you, I'm going to be the somebody next to you. What if somebody backs up, oh gosh, and they're like this? What should you do? And it's your turn to back up. What should you do? Huh? Move over? How about you wait for that horse to come back up into the line, get out of the way, and then it's clear, okay? And normally the judges will allow you that time. They'll say, go ahead and just wait a minute and wait for the rider to get ready. Okay, now Cam, you can back up. Okay, what are you doing with your feet? Don't worry about it. Come on, get your hands in. Come on. All right, now come on. Wake her up, make her back up. Okay, come back over here where you're not right next to me. Okay, stop. Okay, now, prepare to back. Everybody pay attention. He's going to prepare to back. Prepare to back. There you go. We got the head right. Put the feet forward. There you go. Okay, now, why are you looking at me when you're backing? You look at your horse, okay? Now, I can't back up because you're in my way. Okay? So when you're getting ready to back up out of the lineup, it's good to look both ways. All right? Now, you guys are still involved in equitation, correct? All right? Well, some of you are, right? Do you do equitation? Sometimes when you have to, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to do equitation, Grace? You don't think so? Just this? Okay. All right. So one of the rules of thumb that I was always taught when you're doing equitation before you back up is you always look. Check, check. Is there anything or anybody behind me? So that way you know that your positioning is going to be correct because it is about rider control. Okay? All right, so that's one of the things. Check, check when you go to back up. All right. Okay, come on, questions.
You got a horse back sideways.
How do I fix a horse that backs sideways? Well, there are several different ways. The mechanics of a horse, okay? If you turn the horse's head to the left, the hindquarters goes to the right. See? See what I'm saying? All right, and vice versa. All right? So if my horse is backing crooked, and say he is pulling his hip to the left, so it's going to be towards you. If I use my left rein, I can actually straighten that horse more on one side. You see how that back end starts to come over because I'm using more of one rein than the other? Now, if I want to go back the other way, I'm going to start to back, and I'm going to use this rein. Okay? And he's going to start to use, we're not doing a round pivot. If I'm using more of a right rein, you'll see he starts to move that hindquarters around is all back in circles, okay? And what you're doing is you're teaching the horse to be able to control their hindquarters, because that's ultimately what you're doing. Now, if the biggest thing is having the horse straight between these reins when you do it. So if you've got a horse that's you're trying to back and you're like this, it's always, he's always going to go crooked. See how he's going crooked? All right? Okay. All right? What other questions you have for me? Nothing. You can pet him. He looks just like El Tecate, doesn't he? They could be twins.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he's just a little bit bigger.
I remember I saw him in the barn.
Yeah. Yep. Rick. Right?
You want to pet him?
Yeah. Why don't you guys come get your pictures taken with? That's a pretty neat deal, isn't it? The World Grand Champions?